Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Aspiring Entrepreneur. I'm your host Hamza Chowdhury. Welcome to today's daily stock recap. It's Thursday, April 29, 2021. If you're new to this channel, guys, in this video, what we do in our daily stock recap is we go over a handful of tickers that we cover on our Sunday update, stocks that we're just generally watching on this channel, and we talk about our thesis and how the stocks are sort of playing out. And I also give tips and tricks on how to trade, and I'm a day trader. I'm a full-time day trader as well, and so I do offer tips on how to trade and setups that I like. As always, guys, I appreciate your support. If you do enjoy this video, feel free to smash that like button, guys. As always, we're a 100% free content channel, and we depend on your support to keep this channel going. Guys, it was a great day. I was actually done trading within the first half hour, which is my ideal day. As always mentioned in day trading, all the volatility is really in the first hour. And so, with the SPY, guys, we talked about this on previous Sunday channels, is that we felt that the market's been overextended, and we talked about sort of retracing. And so you can see today, we did have this massive gap up, and we made new market highs, and it felt really heavy. And we'll get into Apple shortly. But you can see that there's this long wick, and so buyers are stepping in. Even if it's this red candle, we essentially opened and closed around the same area. Okay, so we had the sell-off, and then we basically made new highs. Okay, and so we closed pretty much where we opened, and you can see the 20-day here is coming up. Okay, and so what we mentioned before is we would be risking down to the 50-day, which we were saying was trading around 400, 398. But you can see here, we haven't bounced off the 50-day, guys, since, about a month ago. And we were trading around 386. So the market's just way overextended, right? Stocks have ran recently, from their lows. Apple was 117, hit 136, 137. Tesla, 540 up to like 786. And so a lot of these stocks on the S&P have really ran. And so just keep that in mind. And that's why we talked about, we saw this top here is to really sell positions, or at least minimize positions, knowing that there's no point in starting a new long position considering the market is being overextended. Okay, and today, guys, was honestly a great day. I was, haven't really had such a strong momentum day within the first few minutes, and in a little while I've been a little more hesitant in trading in the first few minutes. And this setup was exactly what we talked about yesterday on AMD, the setup for Apple. And literally when I got a text yesterday regarding Apple blowing up earnings, I'm like, this will be a perfect short. And so you can see levels that we've identified as previous support and resistance lines. Now that we've really moved up through all these lines on Apple, that's what I was looking for. And so if I look here on my daily chart, Apple got all the way up here. And so, of course, one of the easiest plays is called fill in the gap, which is, essentially where did we close and where did we open, and closing that gap. But it was just a perfect play. And so, again, people who ran the stock from 117 all the way to 135, it's profit taking. And I knew so many pro traders that were trying to long Apple, trying to find the bottom. Guys, hands off. When a stock is tanking, it's just that day it's selling off. Why not just sit on your hands and wait, right? And so if you were, and I'm going to turn this off so it's clear. If you were here and you were trying to find the bottom of Apple this morning, you basically got wicked out, right? Look, it just sold off. And then so look at these 15-minute candles. And we saw that with AMD yesterday for the first 4 or 5 red candles. And then it based, and right, and where did we see this? We saw this on AMD. We saw this also on Microvision the other day, right? So there's this consolidation. They hold it and they soak you. So they're soaking all the bids and their offers, and everyone's, consolidating, and then they flush it more. And so, strong stock, it bounced off the 20-day. And guys, I came in short. So I shorted actually pre-market, which I mentioned to you guys. I don't play a whole lot of pre-market like I used to. And I covered, for a point. And so I actually was able to get a point through this momentum. And guys, a light bulb moment came into play, which was, where can I maximize my profitability with minimal investment? And this is what I want to teach you guys. My sort of big lesson for today, guys, is I decided to do my options play on the setup as opposed to just shorting the stock. So I shorted the shares. If I told you that you could buy a 130 put for tomorrow expiration. So put means, right, I make money as Apple's coming closer to that going down. So I bought a 130 put. Right at open, it was 2 cents. Okay, and I ended up getting it for a few more cents, which was kind of annoying. Like I said, I didn't get the best fill. I could have got 2 cents. I ended up getting about 5 cents. Guys, as this thing was tanking from 137 all the way down here to 133, what do you think that 2 cents turned into? It turned into 28 cents at some point today. that 2-cent investment. So what does that mean? It means is for 100 shares times 2 cents, it's $2 a contract. And so let's just say you bought 100 contracts. You're risking $200 as an investment for tomorrow expiration for this thing to tank. And so I was actually out way early. I was out within the first candle, within the first 10 minutes of the trading session. I think it was actually 7 minutes I was in the trade. And guys, I made a 70% profit margin on that trade. I killed it, right? And now, yes, if I would have held, it would have been, you know, hundreds of percents. But that's not the point, guys. The market is what the market is. You take what it gives you. You can always let a runner run, no problem. I rather be done within the first 15 minutes and move on to another business or another idea that I'm doing, right? Don't want to. I do keep the charts on in my background, and it's good to always watch the price action. But guys, this was clearly a weak stock, and so people are trying to find the bottom. They're trying to find, let that be their money. And so consolidated, tanked more, and then it simply retraced to where the majority of the shares traded, what we call the point of control. And so great trade. Again, shorted the shares. One cost of Apple share is $134. You could have bought essentially, you know, 50, 60 contracts for that price. And if this thing moved 10 cents, guys, that's $600 in a matter of minutes. And it's a low cost trade, meaning that you're risking $200 to make $600. And so it worked out perfectly, and it was just so quick, and I appreciated that, and that was awesome. So Tesla, interesting setup that I did see today. And I think we talked about it yesterday as well. And so remember, we have this thesis that we have higher highs and higher lows. And this wasn't a higher high because we failed to fail, but we broke out and we had here. And so if we go back, we got to really sort of focus on what the plan is, okay? So we had a low here, a higher high, a higher low, not a higher high, but then we had the higher high here, okay? And so one of the things I mentioned was the 680 level really shouldn't be broken for us to keep this level, right? And so ideally, I drew with this trend line of what I could see as possible risk for Tesla. And so in theory, as long as we don't trade below this level here, and what I think is going to happen is if this trend line follows, is we potentially get a flush down here into 650 tomorrow. Because now you can see yesterday we talked about playing between the 20-day average and the 50-day. And today we just got another market pullback. Okay, and so what I really think is going to happen potentially is the risk here to 650 tomorrow, and then we can start seeing some upside movement. And my short-term price target within the next few days for Tesla is about 720, 715 to 720. And so that could happen tomorrow. So we may not get this flush, and we may end up seeing 715, 720 tomorrow. And so that's my short-term price target, is in this wedge right here. Okay, and so this is the level that I'm looking at, is the 20-day is resistance. And so that's my short-term price target, okay? And so if we draw this out, this is the price action we're seeing essentially in Tesla, okay? And so what I think is either we get a quick flush or we just gap up. Again, it's Friday. They typically like to, you know, keep people from stressing out over the weekend over stocks tanking. And so typically we see positive news on Friday. And keep in mind, guys, this stock was just 780 a couple weeks ago. And so we've already traded $100 less. And keep in mind the earnings back here, we were trading close to $900. And so the stock is still technically uptrending. And so we just got to be patient and let it play out. And again, I'm long-term bullish on the stock, so I'm not worried at all. And I mentioned to you guys before, I've been just selling calls every week on the stock. And I sold a call here. They were going up in the 800s for $700, and the next day they're basically a buck. Okay, and so there's a great steal. You can sell weekly calls, and that's what I would do if you're back holding Tesla. Okay, Palantir, not necessarily didn't really do too much. It had, you know, it continues to see this sort of 50-day resistance, and we've talked about that. Is it, you know, we saw the resistance back here. And, you know, we continue to see sort of a low volume. And this thing is setting up for earnings. That's coming up, I believe this was May 11th. So that's my exciting play. That's where I hope we can get this gap fill on the daily here. Like I said, the short-term price target of 3150. And so what I really hope to see here is a reversal. And, of course, this is where we need to make a higher high. Is higher than $26, okay? And so once we can break that level, which I expect that to happen next week, leading into earnings, that would be my short-term play. Now, the big news for Palantir, of course, would be profitability. If we hear that word profitability in the earnings, guys, this thing will definitely blow up, and we could definitely see that 3150 in near term, okay? And so that's what I expect to see for Palantir near term. And, you know, again, it just hasn't been doing much. It's just been trading in a tight channel, following pretty much most of the, you know, other stocks, and you can see similar to the market, it just tanked and then found a base here. Okay, and so some of our support resistance levels, you know, you can still see they're still in play. 2350, again, something we've called out in the past, is still acting as resistance. And so again, we got to break these levels, and we just really need volume to come in to get anywhere on the stock. Spce, Virgin Galactic, same thing, guys. As the market was weak, so was Spce. And same idea, guys, is we're just consolidating. And so, you know, same idea is we made a double bottom here, and now we made a top here right around 24, and now we're simply retracing. Okay, and so what we don't want to do is go back to the $20 level, because then that takes out the whole reversal strategy thesis away. Okay, and so you can see how many candles it took for us just to get over one major candle. Okay, so we had this major red candle, and you can see that the stock has just been weak, and there's just no volume to push this thing up. And so you've had 6-7 trading sessions just to beat one negative red candle. And so assuming, let's say this is a higher high and this is the low, then we should see, right, another breakout, potentially, like we mentioned, short term to the 20-day around $27. Okay, same play for Spce. Now, I didn't trade Fcel either today, so we will be wrapping up this. I mentioned to you guys that $11 was our short-term price target. We hit 1085 a couple of days ago. Still expect the 20-day to act as resistance, and overall, it was just a weak market. And so I still expect that to act as resistance at the 20-day. And so we'll just wait that out, and it's pretty much right there, guys. We hit 1066 today. And so again, much lower than where we were, you know, 52 weeks, you know, $30 way back here. Okay, not that long ago. Plug, I did trade this. We did hit our price target, which was great. There was some news on Plug today, which was a good catalyst for the stock. And so what I did is I actually traded this at open. And so coming in at open, you can see there's this news. I'm not the type of person to want to buy a stock, you know, when it's obviously it's making the bottoms. So what I did is I waited for it to flush a couple candles, and I did a scalp play for about 30 cents, nothing major. And then obviously you saw it tanked even more. And then I decided not to re-enter, just considering the overall market seemed weak. And so I would have been more short biased. But like I said, I was pretty much done within the first 10 and 15 minutes of the trading session today. And it was pretty nice. AI did tank today. I wasn't that worried. I mentioned to you guys yesterday on yesterday's video that we could see the risk of AI back to the 20-day. And so that's what we saw today, is it basically had made, you know, and it's been on a run, guys. So we have this low here, and we have this high here, okay? And so now we have a low right here. And so what I'm expecting, right, is we're going to eventually get into this 50-day. And that's the price target, right, is getting back up here. And so, you know, back to the 20-day provided support. And that's where I saw the risk was at 66.30, I believe. But however, it did go about 50 cents lower, which is fine. You're not going to always get it to the bottom. And so it's been a great play. We have a high here at $74. Okay, and I mentioned to you guys my exit is probably right around here, around $82. Still my plan. And so I expect with the tight consolidation that we're seeing on the chart, on the daily chart here with the Bollinger Band, you can see that we keep firing off these red dots, which we mentioned is a tight period of consolidation leading to a future breakout. Okay, and in this case, with it being broken down from such a long time, I expect it to break out, and that's where I'll definitely be looking to sell my shares. Clover, guys, I am going to add that to today's channel. As you know, we're long Clover back here when it was trading around $6-7, and we talked about the plays. And guys, it's been on a tear, and you can see that it's been absolutely just killing it, and the market, the volume has just been incredible these last few days. And so I shorted, I've been heavy short the last couple of days on Clover. And so what you do, again, when you short is this is more of a dangerous play because you're gapping up from the previous day. Okay, and a lot of times you don't want to play gap up shorts in the sense that you may be seeing a stock doing a continuation on the uptrend. Okay, so if a stock's constantly going up, there's no point in shorting it because you want it to downtrend. And so what I was really looking for, we mentioned yesterday, was a 200-day acting as resistance. And then for today, just waiting for the certain levels to hit. And so I had the 1160 identified, shorted it, and you know, I went heavy on the short. And it's the same thing, guys. I was trying to get out quick, and then I ended up shorting again, I think, and that's why my session ended up being about half an hour. And so I shorted here, and you can see that when people are trying to short, it's starting to push up to different levels, right? And so what we say is when it flushes, these previous bottoms are going to be pop, essentially what, pop buyers, and then they're going to be selling the pops. And so you can see here, the top of this is essentially the bottom of this consolidation. And then you can see it retested the highs and it failed again. And so you could have technically waited, right? You could have waited for the retest here and shorted, or you could have waited here. So it was a great short. Again, I could have been a buck in the money. I could have made a crap ton, you know, going through it. But again, I wanted to go to other things, guys. Always think of the market is you get your piece of it, you're in, you get what you need, and you get out. Okay, there's no point in overstaying your welcome. And so, you know, that's what I did, and it was a great short. It's been a great short the last couple of days. And so again, I'm not looking for, you know, this flush right here is great, but you know, you can play 10, 20, 30 cents on a heavy move. Okay, just make sure you have a risk plan. Okay, so with that said, guys, as always, you know, and this kind of follows the MVIS plan, right? The microvision, that's what it kind of felt like. And so let me just show that real quick before I wrap this up. All right, so if you look at microvision, right, it really had that flush, and then it kind of came back and gapped up. Now microvision is trending up. It just reported earnings, and it looks like it tanked and came back, but this thing is just garbage. And so I don't hold on to garbage. So anyways, guys, as always, appreciate you. Please hit that like and subscribe button, guys. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate. I always respond. I'm always checking the channel. I do teach tonight, but I will always be helping you guys. If you have any questions or comments, please post them. As always, guys, take care and have a good day. Bye-bye.